Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing this book that I read, and this was probably one of my favorite books that I read this year. I found it on the Goodreads trending page, just like my regular feed page, and it was in horror, which I don't understand really why this book was in horror, because it wasn't a horror novel necessarily. I guess it had horror elements, but it wasn't horror all around. And anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna be talking about this book, and yeah, I'm just gonna get into the video. And the book that I'm gonna be talking about today is called The Saturday Night Ghost Club by Craig Davidson, and this book was so good. It was beautiful and sad and perfect. It is basically like a coming of age story similar to that of like Stranger Things, Stand By Me, Stephen King's It. It was set in the 80s, which is very similar to those other things that I just mentioned, as I feel like there's a lot of these stories, the coming of age kid stories from the 80s, and I just love these stories so much. They have a special place in my heart. And so when I read that that was what this book was going to be about, I was so happy. And yeah, I just sort of found it on a fluke. So yeah, this book was very short. I think it came to a total of about 200 to 300 pages. I finished it in one day. I listened to it on audio, so it was around 5 hours, and it was so good. It didn't take me 5 hours. It took me around like 3-ish, just because I listened to it on a faster speed. But yeah, it took me one day and it was fascinating. I couldn't put it down. So the book is basically about this kid named Jake and his new friend that he makes named Billy, and then Billy's sister Dove. And it's pretty much about them and this club that they make, along with Jake's uncle, and his name is Uncle C. And his uncle owns this like occult shop. And basically his friends just hang out with his uncle, and his uncle takes him on these ghost hunting trips, and they call it the Saturday Night Ghost Club. And they go like to the woods in one story. They go to this old burnt down house. So just like a lot of places around their city. Well, the story is set in Cataract City, which is in Niagara Falls, or by Niagara Falls in the story. And yeah, they just follow their uncle around, go to like different places around their city, and he tells them ghost stories. And then like in the beginnings of the chapters, it's like Jake's older self, and he's like, basically he talks a lot about memories, which memories play a big part in the story, which is what is another thing that was so fascinating about it. And yeah, it's Jake's older self telling the story. So in the beginning of the chapters, he talks about like he grew up and he became a brain surgeon, and so he talks about like kids and their tumors and like going in, and how it's like very tedious work, and how like it can mess with their memories and stuff. And that interweaves into the story that he's telling about his childhood, and it was amazing. I love this book. I can't recommend it enough. I recommended it to my best friend, and she read it and she loved it as well. Yeah, and that's all I really have to say about it. It was amazing. If you like books, Stand By Me, Stranger Things, It, any type of those stories, you will love this book. And yeah, I just really loved it. I'm probably going to read it again. And yeah, I believe it came out last year, And so yeah, I didn't hear about till this year though. I wish I would have heard about last year because I definitely would have read it last year. That's pretty much it though. I can't wait to read more from this author. I've never heard of him before. And I know that he writes horror novels, I'm pretty sure. So maybe that's why it was coming up in the now trending in horror, because he writes horror novels. Thank you so much for watching this video, you guys. I am going to be making a new video soon because it is almost the end of July, and I have a pretty big list of books that I'm going to be talking about at the end of the month, because I've read a total of, I finished my 8th book today, so I'm going to be talking about 8 books, maybe 9 if I can finish at least one more book for this month, because we still have a few days left of July, and yeah. So expect that video soon, and without further ado, I'm gonna end the video. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye.